Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 Guardians Club Tournament. My name is Evan, and with me today, it's Stoic. What's going on, Stoic?
What's going on, Evan? How we doing, man? I am very excited for this 2v2 day because you know what that means? I finally get to flex the LD Nat 5s.
You do! No, this is so exciting. What's up, chat? Welcome, everybody who's watching the 2025 Guardians Club Tournament at home today. This is going to be a real fun one. Like Stoic mentioned, this is a new format, a new situation, and frankly, an unorthodox scenario for casting because today we're doing 2v2 the whole way through. We have 7 matches queued up for you guys ahead of us. We've got 1 influencer plus 1 Guardians Club member joined up in teams. Higher ranks are matched with lower ranks. We're doing a point system. 3 points for a win, 0 points for losses, and we're taking the top 4 and putting them in a finals, but we're going to have a few weeks ahead of us before that. We find ourselves on week 1 today. We'll have more on the 16th, the 30th, the 6th, and finally, the 13th. So there's a lot leading up here. Like I mentioned, 2v2, Stoic, this is like a very new thing for tournaments in general, but also the Guardians Club.
Yeah, we've had 2v2 for a while now, but we haven't really been able to, what do I want to say here? Experiment? Let's say experiment with like actual tournaments of some sort. So we've got something and it's with influencers and Guardians Club members. So not super familiar. Some of us might be familiar with some of these Guardians Club members here. Maybe you've even seen them recently due to some of the other things that we're doing among the community. But we're doing 2v2 with these guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really, really interesting because it's not like regular RTA that you get to watch and see because the strategy changes just a little bit.
It really does. So, folks, I want to jump off that. But before we do, here are the matchups for today. Like I highlighted at the top of the show, we've got 7 games ahead of us, 7 pairings. And if you'll notice, Stoic is on one of them. He's in game 4, paired up with Xiaomi. So aside from game 4, which is your own game, Stoic, are any of these standing out to you?
I think Apps and X is always going to be a very strong team. Like it could be Apps and anybody. Apps is just he's got such a great like head on his shoulders when it comes to creating strategies, and even 2v2. I know he has a lot of experience doing that. But I think one of our better pairings that we have out there is actually Amodace and Mad Expert. That's definitely a matchup to look out for. Yes.
To peel back the curtain a little bit, that was the matchup that you and I were talking about right before the tournament started. You were saying that they actually probably have more synergy than a lot of players.
Yep, most definitely. Are they not the higher ranking people that we have in this group as well? I think Amodace is at a G2, Mad Expert at a G1 as well. So I think we've got double red stars. I don't know if there's another team that is double red stars like that. That might be the only one. That's
something that's going to reveal itself as we go into the pick ban phases, I think, because I can't think of one off the top of my head going into this. So this is going to be a very big day, and like we mentioned, so Stoic's going to be in one of them. So in that moment, you'll jump off, you'll hang out with Xiaomi for a little bit. Did you guys do anything special to prep for this? Like, did you come up with strategies? Obviously, you don't need to reveal your whole hand here, but like, what did you guys do to prep?
Communicate.
That's the only thing, man. That's all that matters in 2v2.
That's all we could really do. We kind of just went back and forth with some of our units, understanding like what's super contested, but like what things could be really, really great to bring into 2v2. Because I think everybody wants to kind of surprise one another because ultimately everybody here knows each other. So it's like, oh, Stoic, LD Nat 5s, what does he have? What is he going to bring? Xiaomi, LD Nat 5s, what does he have? What is he going to be bringing? So I want to say there's definitely going to be some stealing of units, some, contested units out there. And you kind of want to plan around that going into 2v2 because there's so much drafting going on.
Yeah, and that's going to be probably part of an ongoing conversation that we have over the course of the whole thing today. But something that I love to talk to folks about is the units that are better in 2v2 compared to regular RTA. Before we get into that answer, though, we got our first 2 teams paired up here. Team Apps versus Team Bloom. I love these photos. There's so much personality in these submissions, Stoic.
It really is. MD5 is someone who comes out to all of our Boston meetups. We've seen him at every single one of them. He's great. He brings his family. He's an awesome guy to have at our meetups.
Yeah, that's your. Also, shout out to Apps, who's in chat right now, as well as your teammate Xiaomi, who's in there too.
Oh boy, I'll be looking forward to that later on. How do I get
Here
this?
we go, guys. Wow, set number 1 here. The only set they get. We're doing best of 1 the whole way through. 7 games of 2v2 takes a long time. So any learnings that they have against their opponents, they're going to have to hold on to those for the next time they fight, right, Stoic?
Yes.
Xiaomi says you told him to de-rune your account.
I didn't tell the D-Rune.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so now back to the topic. So units that are better in 2v2 compared to regular RTA. I would say that Oliver he's incredible in regular RTA, but in 2v2 with more targets in play, he's even better, Stoic. Is that right?
Hold on. Repeat that for me one more time. So I'm going to let you get into a little bit of a secret here, guys. I'm trying to view the matches, and it's such a small screen I can't blow it up. It's getting very difficult to even see the images of the unit profiles. Gonna see if we can get that,
pin that
a little bit bigger
pin,
here. Yeah.
Right-click pin. That's what I got going on. Right-click pin, baby. That's what it is. We got a Tian Lang over on the side of MD5. Then we also got the Fire Twin Angels over there too. Not Killerin bringing another Twin Angel. We got 3 Twin Angels. We got 3 Twin Angels over here. How's that help, Stoic? Are you able to see it now?
Playing picture. So we're working on it. Because I see you bright and clear, Evan, as day. But I need to see the gameplay.
Do the right-click pin on the gameplay.
Okay.
There we go. Look at that. Wow. And the Etna over for Bloom. So she's trying to go fast. One strategy that we see often in 2v2, it's really important, is just consolidating speed leads. And so far we've got that over on Team Bloom, but we don't have it represented on Team Apps. Oh, actually, that's not true. We got 2 on the side of Apps. He's got the Light Twin Angels as well as the Maximilian there.
Yes, it does. And you were right. The right-click pin did save me here, so I'm finally in the game now.
I got you, bro.
Drafting his 2 units right here. So let's see where the speed leads are lining up here. So Bloom looks like took the 33, the 24. Apps did not lock in the speed leads. I don't think he did, because it was not Killerin who was locking in the speed leads there. The 24 and the 30. Is it a 33 on the Light Hacker?
Look at that, Richard. Yeah, that's true. Look at that. Richard Morales said, "Dang, didn't even know Apps had the Light Twin Angels." I don't think I can't remember him picking this unless he picked it in Summit, and I've been forgetting.
I honestly, that's something new here, so I'm not even 100% sure. I totally forgot about Maximilian having a 24 speed lead as well. They've got speed leads all over the place, so I feel like we're not even in a position of banning out speed leads. There's too many to count at this point. And a Wunsa not honestly super great coming into 2v2s. That's a surprising pick by Apps.
Yeah, it was. And also I see that MD5 has taken an Aya over there as well. Something as a reminder for folks who maybe haven't experienced 2v2 yet is that passives only relate to the folks that are adjacent to you. So your opponent that's directly across from you will be affected by your passive, but not the other one.
Yep, exactly. And you'll see that interaction often. There's only one unit in the game that breaks that interaction, and that is Shizuka, where if all 4 players do something, Shizuka still gains that value on that 3rd skill when she applies it.
Yeah,
but the negatives only go across the way.
Very true. Yeah, everyone else is pretty much blind to that side of the field, to the whatever the opposite side of their play area is. But Shizuka sees everything because she cares about just knowing what buffs have been applied in the game so far. Here we go, guys. We're going into the round. Team Bloom versus Team Apps. Team Apps at the top. Here we go.
There's that very fast one. So we knew it was going to be really fast, but I feel like it's just a strip option, and that really is it. I feel like that rune quality could have been used on something else to strip, to then do more for your team and work with your partner as well, but we'll see what happens. Zabal is boosting up Light Monkey King. Light Monkey King. It looks like they're going all in on Bloom on the left side.
Oh, and he's rewarded too. That's some of the best crowd control they can offer. Thank Leet New with the cap. Thanks, Leet. Appreciate you, dude. So they doubled down on the left side, trying to gauge how tanky stuff is. They could probably focus in and take down that Etna relatively easily.
Yeah, I think so. Ethna's a unit that doesn't last too long, and I feel like they really needed that Ethna to take turn 1 to create some sort of opportunities. Now, in the discussion of 2v2, Evan, I look at a Seimei and I look at a Tian Lang, and I want to say, now, not that I'm picking on them or anything like that. I look at these as selfish units. You know what I mean by that?
Yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, because it's like, just as much as we were talking about units that are better in 2v2, there are units that are selfish or like not as good because she doesn't reach over to the other side, for instance, though she can revive, like we're seeing come into play right now. Here's an opportunity for her to maybe lock down someone or just apply defense breaks to set up for Tian Lang.
Yeah, looks like going for the big skill 3. Gets the nice stun there on top of the light twin angel. So that's a little bit of value coming out of a Seimei, where I was calling Seimei a little selfish, but at least she has that one interaction.
It's true, but like you said, I think you're so right in that call. Her passive is probably her biggest claim to fame and the biggest help. Though, I guess eventually, once Bloom's side is knocked out, then Seimei will be helpful to the rest of MD5's team. They're going to be forced to go into it eventually.
Yeah, they definitely will be. Man, I'm looking at these Water Twin Angels. I feel like this is something that I should probably prepare myself. I just forgot like how great the Water Twin Angels are with just so much setup and control I can bring to the table too. So we'll see. Maybe I'll casually throw one together, but that's a nice little stun going on Tian Lang.
Send a secret message over to Xiaomi if he's got it. It's like, just make sure you got one of these runed up. This thing's good.
And I just kind of want to do that myself as well. Zabala skill 3 available. We can't really lock down too many units there. There's nothing going to be. I don't think Apps and Killoran are too worried right now because Bloom's got one foot in the grave at the moment.
It's true, and like the Oliver's going to go next, but I don't know what he's going to be able to do to significantly contribute. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I was looking over at chat. I think he just got resisted. He should try to put that Kitian Dashang, hopefully, on cooldown, or maybe the Light Hacker to prevent immunity. Oh, and not rewarded Stoic.
No, not at all. Now, so I'm gonna take a couple steps back here. So there's one unit on Bloom's team that is staying alive, and it might be the best unit to keep alive because that Riley is going to be very difficult to get rid of. But I do think every one of these skills just go right into MD5's team, and this might be the enabler for MD5 to kind of like pull through because Apps is not showcasing a lot of like threat, and even the damage isn't really here. We're looking at getting defense breaks and then capitalizing off of that, where the only defense breaker that Apps and Killoran have is that Water Twinning.
Yeah, it seems like they're all kind of in the same realm when it comes to like how much damage potential they have. It's like maybe not Killoran is slightly ahead because of the additionals coming from the Twin Angels combined with Kitian, but it's like, still got Tian Lang to dish out some damage on skill 2, and Seimei can revive the Etna.
Yep, definitely can. And that Etna can create some great opportunities. So we'll see what happens as we progress on here. So we've got all skills available. You know what? That was the right call. I was like, I think we need to stop the Riley from doing anything. So it's a great sleep to put on it. Leave that Riley sleeping. Riley needs a really big proc, though.
That's crazy to see the Kitian dump skill 3 on one unit and us to unanimously agree that was the right call.
Definitely was. Skill 2 is available. I think you go to that Ethna, create some opportunities. Skill 2 is available on the Ethna.
Yes, he could yes, here we go. Setting up defense breaks is big because I think Tian Lang has skill 2. He could actually follow this up to potentially like confirm the kill on the Water Twin Angels here. This could be cool. This could be big. Yeah, he's got it.
There it is. Let's see what happens.
My God. Is he going to do it?
But he gets the additional turn. That's amazing. That's the defense break that's gone now. So now there is still a lot of like CC that Apps and Killoran still have, so they can stop the Tian Lang from getting turns. Obviously, it's a really nice stun on them. But at the same time, stop Tian Lang from getting turns, but also stop Riley from saving MD5's team.
Yeah, she's like, it's like you foreshadowed the prophecy. It's coming true. Kitian needs to confirm this right now. It's not enough.
Oh my God! The selfishness of Seimei is keeping MD5's team alive. It's like I talked so much trash, like not team players, Seimei, not team players, Tian Lang, and Tian Lang's like the biggest threat on the field. Seimei just saved Tian Lang, right?
And that's why 2v2 is so different, man. And I wouldn't necessarily say that you're wrong either. She's still selfish. She's only helping herself and Tian Lang, but that support from Riley across the world, over in that different zip code that is Bloom's side of the board, is providing enough support to make this strategy happen.
Yep. Nice additional turns, though. I don't think the Light Hacker is the one to go after. I think it's the Light Monkey King. We do have an almost dead Light Hacker, and when something's almost dead, confirm that kill, but I think Light Monkey King should have been the one to catch any of that kind of damage there.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God, big procs.
Uh-oh, now it's pretty much just... So Bloom and MD5 are pretty much just banking on that Etna coming back from the skill 2 on Seimei. Like, you don't quit. You really don't. Light Hacker's down pretty low. You could potentially kill the Kitien out of nowhere as soon as she gets skill 3 back, but I believe there might be one more activation before she gets that back. I'm losing track of how many times she's brought Etna to the field again.
I don't think Etna has any skills available at the moment because it only has been brought back twice, and Etna never got a third skill off. So third skill on cooldown, second skill I believe is on cooldown for one more turn. If Seimei brings back the Etna, I think we get second skill back.
Another good call from not Killerin, by the way, with targeting, because if he actually stunned the Seimei, he might be helping her. Oh, same situation here, applying the brand helps her too. That's a proc to confirm kill on Light Hacker from MD5. That's why you
I was
going to
say too. I was actually worried that we had a Despair Seimei, and the Seimei wasn't going to be doing anything here, like just potentially getting Despair stuns, but the Violent Seimei might actually keep things into it. Because it's all about just bringing utility back.
And, you know, this is, as much as the situation seems to have not changed too much with the Riley going, I actually think that we're closer to the end now. There's a lot of increased cooldown time, but Zabala didn't have it, I guess. Now, can he buy enough time?
Man.
Can MD5 buy enough time to get the back?
Seimei can solo, so Apps has to be very careful about not landing anything on Seimei, because Seimei is going to keep healing. This dot does not kill the Light Monkey King, but we need a violent, but not a violent proc there, but a violent proc from the Seimei to come out. That's going to confirm kill on the Light Monkey.
Yeah, I was going to say, boom, perfectly estimated. Well done. Team Apps getting the win in 3 points. The first 3 points on the board of the 2025 Guardians Club tournament.
Yep. Like I said, Apps is someone, or Apps' team is definitely someone to look out for. It's a very, very dangerous duo we have here. But man, as I was counting the Seimei out and the Tian Lang out for just not being very team-friendly units, but Seimei was really, really holding on. And there really is a world that Seimei continues to hold on for that to claim that victory, because you saw all that healing that you had there. Second skill bringing so much value, bringing back the Ethna almost taking out the Light Monkey King in that instance as well. So definitely it's still close.
Anything that has interaction that can pull on from the other side of your team is huge, you know. So Seimei being able to revive whatever, that's incredible. And also, I definitely warmed up to Tian Lang over the course of that game too, because he doesn't necessarily impact your team as much as the enemies. You know, it's like you can basically have your teammate pick as much attack bar gain as they want, and they won't suffer because of his passive. Here's our leaderboard. Of course, Team Apps being the only one with any points in play right now. Stoic, how are you feeling following that game? Do you guys feel like you prepped enough, you and Xiaomi?
Based off of that, I do think we have prepped enough. I do. Good. I know we haven't done a lot of prep, but I think what our current game plan will be all right.
Excellent. Okay, that's great. I can't wait to see what that is. We'll watch it in real time as it comes through. I think you guys are match number 4, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you guys can look forward to that, chat. We have many more games ahead of us. That was the first of 7 right now. Looking at that game again too. So MVP monster of the whole thing, despite Team Apps taking the win, I actually think it was probably either Riley or Seimei. Stoic.
Dude, it's so funny to say that, because like Seimei kept that match going. The Riley was definitely an awesome unit, but they did a great job of keeping it back. Now, if we talk about like in a winning view of things, I think the Light Monkey King was probably the unit that takes it, because the Light Monkey King was stopping everything from happening, you know, stopping the Riley from reviving the team. Because if the Light Monkey King was not there, I think we'd be singing a different tune. There'd be way too much sustain. I think the Tian Lang would have popped off. I think the Seimei would have stayed as consistent as it was. We would have seen Ethna popping off with the second skill from Seimei, bringing that unit back there. But you know what? Light Monkey King was there, really shut down Bloom's side of the field, and didn't allow that Riley to do exactly what it was going to be, why it was drafted for this.
So true, man. You know, we love the Light Monkey King for the same reason here that we do in regular RTA, hard crowd control on every single skill. He's still one of the best lockdown units in the entire game because of that.
Yep, exactly. You know, a lot of people's most wanted units have a Light Monkey King, because it is that kind of good unit.
It is. So another thing that we were talking about, so we briefly touched on units that are better in 2v2, but something else that I wanted to bring up are effects that are better in 2v2. A couple of those you cited as Provoke and Threat State.
Yeah, that's something that I had brought up before. I think those are some of the better things to bring into 2v2 because you'll often see what we saw in that first match where both players said, we're taking Bloom out first, and they went very heavy into Bloom. But if you have things provoking, you have things providing threat state, you're able to take that attention and kind of split it where you're throwing a wrench at things where they want to go after Bloom, but because of threat state, because of, for instance, they wanted to go after that one player, the threat state, puts a wrench into it, and the provokes put a wrench into it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because, when I think of threat state, right, you think that it doesn't necessarily work at the same potency level. Because being in 2v2, it decreases the efficacy of the buff itself, but it's like it disrupts the team coordination, and that's why it's so powerful. And now, here we go. So Team Amodace versus Team Whycuzimag. So we know that Whycuz has that Yonhong. That there's a reason he picked it first. That's one of the most powerful units in 2v2, Stoic.
Yep, it really is. It's got the strip attack bar, second skill, the healing, boosting of attack bar for not just Yonhong, but whatever unit that she also targeted as an ally. Whycuz has so much experience when it comes to 2v2. He has done lots of 2v2 with someone like Thompson, and they have climbed the ranks very, very, very high among 2v2. So he has a lot of experience here. I'm not 100% sure with his partner here, Alucard, but I do know they know each other, though. I believe Alucard used to be a swag member back in the day.
Oh yeah, so they look like they've done some prep in here, and bringing the Nefties from Pat. I actually don't personally see him pick the Nefties all that often, so they've got to have something pretty cool in mind. Whoa, this is real aggressive. Zeratu and Sonya, Stoic.
Yep, this is hyper aggressive, but we have some perfect pairing coming out of Whycuz. This is what I was saying. Like, Whycuz has so much 2v2 experience. He's going to be a weapon out here because Whycuz is bringing nothing but support right now. The Yonhong's going to be enabling Alucard's team. The Escher is going to be enabling Alucard's team here. Neft is going to be creating some sort of opportunities. So I'm expecting like a fast strip option from Whycuz, honestly. I don't know what it's going to be. Even could be Miles bringing his own form of like damage, but to create opportunity because there are a lot of single target. I mean, Vanessa, it's the exact same thing where we're stripping, doing something, we're creating opportunities for his partner.
Yeah, and he needed to bring that one more speed lead just to make sure that they can like guarantee turn one if they want it. Guarantee is kind of a tough way to phrase that though, considering that Team Amodace brought so many high base speed units between Wunsa, Zibala, Etna. Like they are really vying for that first turn.
Yep, well, the Wounds is the fastest unit on the field. Ends up catching the ban here. We do know Zabala is going to be very fast. It's kind of weird pairing here with the leader skill. So Mad Expert taking 224s where Amodace took a 33, and we're going to be taking the 33 speed, obviously. That means they're going to get the attack lead from the Water Monkey King, which I think is good. That's fine.
I think so too. And the Water Monkey King is definitely one of my favorite monsters right now. So the thing about Team Amodace's comp here, so it's more reserved, it's more control focused, obviously, right? But they need to weather the storm here. If Team Whycuzimag gets turn one, all Team Amodace needs to do is survive, and they might be able to take control back.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. So Zabal is going to be the first unit to move here on Amodace and Mad Expert. We knew it was going to be a fast unit, just like the Wounsa that did get banned out. We knew that was going to be a fast unit as well. Freeze goes on to the Escher. He wants to make sure that unit wasn't going to be doing anything. Big strip stun onto the Gianna, which is huge.
And they effectively lock down two of the other team's strip options, one of them being AoE. Yonhong still has something to say, but it's unrewarded in the strip on Ciara.
Yep. Well, the Water Twin Angels, this is going to be providing their own strip defense break here. You can really tell the units that are very good. Like, we're stripping and doing something. We love all of those. Bombs sitting on top of Zerachi. Zerachi, not known to be super tanky, does not get stunned up, though.
And it just manages to scrape by a little bit. So not all is lost for Team Whycuzimag and Alucard at the top here. They could still make something happen, boosting up the Zeratu. He's probably going to go for the Ciara, considering she's the lowest HP ratio.
That's exactly what I would want to see, too. I want to see the lowest unit potentially get taken out here. Beautiful Violent proc, and that should be good for the Ciara. Ciara's going to be dropping. There's no interaction in these guys' teams to bring these units back here, so if something goes down, it's going to be gone forever. Curse the Beautiful goes onto Amodace's team there on the left side. So let's see where Whycuz and Alucard are going to keep aiming their attention.
Time to increase the cooldown time on that Yonhong. Try to keep something down. What did he end up targeting? Gianna? Trying to make sure
interesting.
She doesn't proc into a strip stun?
Yeah, probably. But I want to say this is a swift Gianna, not a violent Gianna. she wrong.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't fault you for thinking it, though, considering how close she was behind the rest of the folks that were vying for turn 1 here. Operation Protect the Monkey is a go. You know, Shiho's done crazier things, Stoic.
Yep, it really has. The stun stopping the Escher. Escher has not been able to take a turn, and that was definitely going to be an enabler for the Whycuz and Alucard team.
It is. Okay, so he could he could set up some stuff here. He could try to heal the team. Doesn't have defense break, still on cooldown time.
Oh, no stuns whatsoever. You know, that honestly, that's what I kind of expect from that. When the Water Twin Angels go and they stun everything, I'm always like, that's not a normal thing. So when it doesn't stun, I'm like, okay, there's the reality of that unit.
We've been getting overexposed to like these like super good results from the Water Twin Angels. That is definitely not the average.
Yep, not at all. Zabal is going to be dropping here. Light Twin Angels probably have enough in the tank to drop at the defense break, sitting on it now. We know Zabal's not super tanky with how fast you want to make that unit.
Yeah, so Amodace and Mad Expert, they're down a lot of units, but they still have like some of their most powerful units left behind. Like even once Zabalo goes the way of the Dodo here, they'll still have the Oliver, Water Monkey King, and the Rameo and Jiraiya.
Yes, exactly that. We have some skills up here with Mad Expert. I mean, we've got that's the heal, I believe. I don't think that's the defense break. Yep, so there's a heal going out in the Amodace's team. Third skill going out. Needs to freeze everybody. Once again, Escher just not getting a turn.
And finally got the increased cooldown time on Yonhong, so now they don't have to worry about this. Honestly, this is what we were talking about when the game began, right? This is what I was saying when we came in. If they could just weather the storm, they have the control to take it back.
Yep, and everything right now is going into the damage, the highest threat, and that's at Zaratu. Zaratu's been putting in absolute work this match here because Alucard's been slowly removing everybody with that one unit. We get a Violent proc coming out of the Nephthys, but it's not going to matter too much. Just an attack rate going out into Oliver.
Yeah, exactly. Considering that he got his cooldowns increased by the Light Twin Angels, he's going to need to proc. He's going to need to proc here.
Violent Gianna, not Swift, so keep that in mind. I'm going to keep that in mind for later.
Noted. Noted on that. Yeah, unfortunately, Oliver is looking like he can't really do anything to help. Wait. Okay, let's see. Zeratul.
We strip. Honestly, we have to go all in. He's got to go for the Water Monkey King and try to shut it down.
You absolutely go for it.
Oh, he does. He gets the strip and everything, but we have third skill available again.
Oh my god, dude. Shiho is cracked right now. I love this monster. Dude, the devs were cooking when they decided to buff him every other balance patch.
Jesus. He's seen so many balance patches.
Yeah, he's
almost out of here. Wow.
Pretty amazing. Watch this, chat. Water Monkey King's about to take down 5 of the 6 units that were in play between Zeratul. The Gianna goes down next. It's all uphill from here, though.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know, I feel like if Whycuz could get a single turn on an Escher, we could have, like, pushed Alucard into, like, a way better position here, but they've done such a great job with stopping Whycuz and then Mad Expert putting in all that work here with this Water Monkey King.
Yeah. Oh, wait. This increasing the cooldown time, does he have that right now? No, he does not. That's what's on cooldown. I don't have any of the Twin Angels, can you tell? He's going to get another activation here. You kind of got to stun up the light ones, I think.
No, he wants to get rid of that Escher right away, so he removes that unit from the field.
I'm just
don't
afraid
have a way to handle this invincibility.
That's true. I was afraid of the proc into this. Yeah, so he's effectively knocking these guys out. I'm overreacting with the Light Twin Angels here. The Nephthys can't do anything against this combination.
No, he can't. We don't have a strip. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure the Light... Because I don't know the Light Twin Angels well. I'm like, I don't think they have a strip option on them, do they?
No, but they've got that increased cooldown time, and this is it. Oh, no, they got it. Shiho just barely couldn't pull it through. What a game. Team Whycuzimag gets their 3 points.
Down to the wire on that match, for sure. It was close. It was close. I know we were saying Amodace and Mad Expert are very, very good pairing to look out for, and I think they still are a really good pair to look out for. But Whycuz, I think that's that 2v2 experience he's showing right there because he brought nothing but support. I think he did a great job with his partner there and really enabled him to create those opportunities to then, watch him really take over. I think Zaratu was very, very good.
Yeah, truly, really well played by them, and also from Team Amodace too. Like I think both obviously it was so close, you know. So how can you not compliment both teams here? But I think what you said is really apt because, like, you know, Team Whycuz and, you know, Pat himself predominantly brought support units who trend way better in 2v2 because you have two different targets at least for like AoE support skills, and typically in 2v2 in regular RTA, folks are going to target the high threat unit, that high volatility damage, and then they're just going to leave the supports alone. So if you have a team of full support, you're almost guaranteed to be left alone for most of the game.
Yep, yeah, exactly. So they gave a lot of attention to Whycuz's partner there, Alucard, but keeping the Escher back, I think, was amazing. That was a great strategy by Amodace and Mad Expert to really stop that Escher from doing anything, but it came down to the wire. It really did. It was a very, very close match. Water Monkey King was a super scary unit, but
yeah, it was
well
so
done,
good.
Whycuz.
He was so good, man. Hey, and you guys are still tied for second. You guys are still tied for second here. Looking at the leaderboard, 0 points compared to the third. Oh, look at this, guys. We got a little post-game commentary here from Amodace in chat. Said, good match, not gonna lie. I trolled Expert with the Charlotte pick instead of Wind Robo.
Oh no! Well, the Charlotte dropped very quickly, so I can't even say the Charlotte was a bad pick, but I can't say it was a great pick either. Maybe the Wind Robo was ruined faster than the Charlotte, so Wind Robo was probably a way better option.
Yeah, I'd have to see the stats before I evaluate that. Pat, quick to respond. Ain't no good match. That Oliver crazy at the jump made me close. Made game close. Should have been a beatdown. Made the game close. That's crazy. That's it's hilarious. I mean, we talked about that going in. You know, it's like they just brought so much control and it was real good. So they just had to not get killed by Zeratu turn one.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's all they had to do was not get killed by Zeratu. Zeratu put his work in.
Yeah,
they almost got killed by Water Monkey King.
He almost took down 5 units.
So much work.
He was this close. It's crazy.
I feel like, is that like how the trend right now is? There's one unit right now in both matches that just puts in, like, who puts in all the work? I can't remember. Was it
Stay so no, it was Kitien.
Yeah. So Light Monkey King put on all the work on that first match. Wow, wait, the monkeys are just putting in work.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
All right.
And he didn't clutch it up though. We gotta buff him again. I don't think it's enough. We gotta do it. We gotta hit him again with another patch.
Another bounce patch for Water Monkey King. It is.
Yeah, Chad, I hope you guys are enjoying the 2025 Guardians Club tournament so far. We have plenty more games ahead of us. We got Team Untitled, Team Sarah DX, and Team JMak over there. Wow, this is a big one. We got some G3s in this one here, Stoic.
Yep, we have America's Cup champion JMak with his partner here. So and then of course we've got Sarah DX coming out of a summit that we just finished up with.
We did, yeah. So both have had some tournament experience, to say the least. You know, it's like I can't wait to see this one. This is going to be a sparks flying type game here.
Yep, it really is. We'll see what happens. I want to see what the draft's going to look like because I feel like we're looking at very, very different units here for like these 4 compared to the matches that we've had previous.
It's cool to see so many folks from the creator clash, you know, between Spectre. We've already seen Not Killer in as well, you know, so we've got a lot of folks participating in both right now.
I believe Spectre's come out to our New York meetups as well. He looks very familiar. I've definitely seen this man before.
Oh, yeah. He was cracking us up on Wednesday, too. I loved watching that submission. That was great. So, JMak, taking the Sekhmet first, these first couple picks are really indicative of, like, the current RTA picks, you know, the meta picks right now.
Yep. We love the Sekhmet. Sekhmet very, very fast. We know what that's going to be used there for. Wow. Spectre with the double LD Nat 5 Sky Dancers. Yan Hong, Mi Ying. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Bringing the sisters into this, like that's a pretty crazy start. I can't wait to see what he brings after that. That tells me that they are trying to snipe.
I know there's something going on here, and it's a lot of support. Both players just drafting so much support at the moment. We like that the Olivers on the other side of the field for Sarah DX's team here, and then we're seeing the Kavachi and Ciara. So it looks like we're splitting speed leads. Someone's going to take double speed leads, so I'm curious who's going to take that. Maybe it's going to be Sarah with like a potential Maximilian.
Yeah, here we go. Lazy Zeus has got the light puppet master. Is that? That's not. Oh, Kovarchi. That's Kovarchi.
Yep.
Yes, I always forget Kovarchi. I always want to call it Zedisek.
I know, yeah. I think I get that mixed up all the time, Zenisek and Kavachi. So looking at a team JMak, I want to say Spectre's going to be taking another speed lead. And I feel like if I was on the side of Sarah DX's team, you got to take the Vanessa. Take that 33 away from them so that they don't have a 33 on their field, because Vanessa and Oliver are the most wanted to draft leader skills, speed leads.
Yeah, highly contested in both regular RTA and 2v2. This is cool. I love that Okeanos is back, man. I keep saying it, but it's really cool to have him back in the or close approximation to meta. I've been running him with like Ganymede again, kind of getting in touch with the 2017 Summoners War, you know?
Dude, we're in full support, Team JMak. Like, I'm curious if the Miying's going to be bringing high damage with that third skill. But I feel like we just brought so much support to the table where we're just creating nothing but opportunities with Spectre. Kind of Spectre fitting that same role that Whycuz was doing. And then JMak, I mean, we're just seeing fast. Super fast units, probably a very fast Okeanos, Violent Okeanos, and he's bringing even more. So there's the damage. The Eludia is looking to I guess, bring the rain and see where things go from that.
Yes, big time. Have you ever seen the rain, chat? That's it right there. And also big fan of the Berg Hilt at the end for Spectre. He's got some really fun LD5s. So now Sarah's bringing the Mi Ying, the tried and true Mi Ying. That's one of her strongest picks, and people know it. You know, it's like if you know Sarah, you know that she's got that Mi Ying. Oh, and the Pontos, man.
I think Pontos is great. I think that's another awesome 2v2 unit.
Yes, it's like Shiho third skill for either side. You know, that's hyperbole, but you know, there's no damage, but it's still amazing. Speed lead, invincibility, and immunity. Just incredible monster. Also, Lazy Zeus has brought a good amount of damage for this team, and Shiho making a return. Big fan of that.
Yep, definitely. Shiho's going to be back. Let's see if Shiho carries. So that's going to be the damage is going to be cut here from Lazy Zeus's team. So now we're looking at bombs from CR. There's no form of cleanse on the team of JMak. So they're not going to be able to stop any bombs from being landed. Those are going to be attack buff bombs, by the way.
Good call, man. That's definitely something to keep your eye on. Also, I wanted to highlight a question from chat, which was answered by Utrems already, but Chris asked, do you benefit from teammates' leader abilities? And the answer is yes, you do. It's one of the few things that is like quote-unquote passive in the background that you benefit from your ally. Please, guys, I know this is unorthodox having 2v2 in a competitive setting. It's very fun to be able to have a full tournament like this. So if anybody in chat is unfamiliar with 2v2, let those questions rip. We want to answer them. I think that's going to be helpful for all. Here we go, guys. Team JMak versus Team Sarah.
Did we just miss a reset? Is that what just happened here?
Classic, dude. That's why folks hate Sekhmet.
Yeah, that is just like Sekhmet. We still have the immunity up though, but we totally missed the reset.
Yeah, it's like when I last casted the America Summit with Sean B. He was going on record saying that he's the biggest Sekhmet hater on Earth, and it's exactly for reasons like that.
All right, so the attack buff's up here. Wait, we have 3 units that do attack buff for Spectre, because Mi Ying does attack buff. Wateryu Moore attack buffs himself now. Oh wait, we don't have an attack buff coming from the Berg Guild. Never mind.
Yeah, but he's got a lot. He has a lot of attack buffs. It's pretty good stuff.
I was thinking Kavachi, but it was a Berg Guild.
Okay, and we're seeing the damage. He kind of gets a nice lay of the land here, and you see that Ciara, classic, right, is going to have the least amount of HP in most situations.
And that's going to be one of the first units I think they're getting rid of with the Kavachi reset right now. Ciara, I think, has got a dragon on her back. But it looks like Oliver's going to shake the defense break, so I think attention goes right back to Ciara.
Yikes. It's like if you break down 2v2 into like phases, I think that initial phase is trying to figure out who both players focus, right? You know?
Oh no, Elunia did
God.
not handle that well at all. Elunia is going to be dropping. We have a bomb to come out here. Now, do we just stop JMak and remove him from the field? We could actually plant that bomb and do something. I mean, we're not going to plant any bombs here. But that's just not something we do.
Stoic and I made a video about this, chat. This was literally the monster spotlight for Ciara.
Never landing. Only hoping, but never landing.
Yeah, that's you hate to see that. But like you pointed out, they don't have cleanse at the bottom, so the bomb will be back. You know, it'll be here in the future. Virgo low-key popping off right now, actually.
Yeah, I feel like the damage that we just put on that Mi Ying, maybe we keep up with that. Yeah, all attention going to Sarah's team right now. Silences need to go out. That needs to go out on Spectre's team.
Yeah. There go the silences. Almost everything.
Does Miang cleanse? Is that attack buff or no? She boosts up attack buff in heals.
Oh, the Wolyang. Yeah.
Wolyang. I keep calling her Mi Yang.
Well, it's because she's got a sister named Mi Yang, and there's a Mi Ying on the other side. It's like that's what it is.
Oh my God!
So many reasons.
Nuts.
I get you, man. It's confusing.
Yeah, Wolyang. How do
I got
there's
you,
a counter for how many times I didn't say Wolyang and shared what the counter was.
Don't worry,
Let
man.
me know,
It's the game's fault for having all this in play at the same time. Finally confirming the kill. So Sarah, I can't tell if Sarah looks stressed or hopeful right now. It might be a combination.
That's
oh
a
my
lot
God,
of low
it took out the
units. More is gone. More needed to go. So that's a really, really big kill there. But we have all of Sarah's team looking very, very low right now. Is there a Rain of Stones available? Dude, put that on Pontos. Get rid of the Pontos invincibility and then go all into it. Oh, we don't have Rain of Stones. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I miscounted. I thought we did. So much has happened. Of course, Oliver is going to proc and try to take this thing to go, dude. So, yeah, Berghild is now the target. If you get rid of the Berghild, you have a good shot. It's pretty much all clear winning this game for them.
That's a great additional turn from Ciara. Is this going to be a bomb? It is a bomb. Now, Okeanos can still pass it the bomb. He can. That's an interesting play, putting it onto Okeanos. He can pass it.
He can, and now, so the problem is you put him in a position where he should as well, because you gotta evaluate how strong that third skill is. Like, do you want to lose your Oki or not? I think you gotta pass it back. You can even put it on the Pontos if he's so inclined.
I think you give it to Ciara because Ciara is one of the biggest damage dealers that you have to deal with here, and I think that bomb could probably even delete that Ciara because the bomb. Now, hear me out. I think the bomb still holds the attack power of Ciara because it got passed to an Okeanos. It should still be the Ciara bomb, not an Okeanos bomb.
I don't know because it says one turn, so it might
value.
We'll find out.
I don't know because that was
it might be Oki. I think it's technically a reapplication. I think.
Yeah, of Okeanos putting a bomb on Ciara. I can't remember that interaction.
Chad'll confirm for us, but I think it's based off his. If I had to place a bet, I'd say that one. He got the best of both worlds too. Okay. Oh.
Whoa.
Take down the
There's the Rain of Stones.
Oh wait, no, this is over.
No,
dude, oh my God, I had to scan the field, Stoic. Like I looked at Sekhmet, confirmed the kill, and then I looked over and saw there was nothing left. That's it, man. Team Sarah, Team Untitled, taking that win and putting 3 points on the board.
Yep, well done, Sarah. So we saw a lot of support being drafted by JMak's team, and I think what we really needed to see was a little bit more of something that dealt a little bit damage or maybe even controlled, because I feel like once the Eludia disappeared, we no longer had our big scary unit on this team of JMak.
A little more spice. Or something that'll just hang out for a little bit longer, and Eludia is so flashy, right? Which I'm glad I love getting to see it in play in theory, but maybe something like a single target damage dealer, like a bruiser, would have been better for that strategy.
Yeah, we could have had a super scary unit in there, but we didn't have anything.
Yeah, truly. Look at this. We got the highlights from that last game here. We got the Oki passing the bomb back. He got the best of both worlds because ultimately it would have been great for him to reset the Pontos, but he had to choose to give the bomb away. But he got to give the bomb and reset. That was a good moment.
Am I next?
Wait, that was match 3, was it not? Wait, that was match 3, right? So you're
that match 3?
4.
Oh my God. I gotta go.
You gotta go.
I gotta go.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna mute up here and then I'm gonna head.
Chat, it's you and me. Okay, so we talked about this before. Match number 4 is going to be Stoic and Xiaomi in there. So, there's a look at the leaderboard. It's going to look largely similar for the rest of the day, but obviously some folks aren't going to get their 3 points. This is a multi-week tournament. So if you guys are enjoying this sort of thing, please let us know. It's very rare that we get 2v2 in competitive Summoners War. So, just please make it known if you'd like to see more of this in the future. Say Shizo, what's going on? It's based on the bomb placer. In this case, it's Okeanos. Perfect. Thank you for the answer for that question, because I was pretty sure. I was 80% sure. But I also love the idea of just throwing the same bomb back and forth. But if I guessed, and it is correct, it is a reapplication. Very well done. What's up, Marino? What's up, Atrapando? Ultra Deathlord. It's good to see everyone in chat right now. We're going into the next game. So, Stoic and Xiaomi had prepped ahead of time. Admittedly, they didn't get as much time as everyone else for reasons I will maintain. I will hold secret because I don't know if I don't know if all of this needs to be shared. Pat says, commentate your own match. Don't be a quitter. Dude, that'd be crazy. I would like that. And we did talk about it, but it's just such a, the way Stoic would talk about it, he would give away his whole game plan. So we're going to have this unfold together. I don't know their strategy, but I do know a couple of the units that they're going to leverage. And we'll let that reveal itself once we get into the game here. Thank you, teammate carried. Sarah, how did you like the game? You guys did a great job. Very well done. I love that we get to have some post-match commentary here, some almost an interview live. Great game, guys. What's up, Spectre? What's up, fam? I'm glad you guys are here today. This is awesome. So we were talking about monsters that are better in 2v2. Not necessarily better, but I wanted to ask the same question of who are some newcomers to the Summoners War meta, Summoners War monster collection that you guys think would be good in 2v2. Something that I was talking about with Stoic was the Fire Megumi Tetsuo, as well as Irene. I think Irene is also going to be real good in 2v2, considering she can put someone in the bag, and then she also has threat state. We kind of touched on it earlier, but even though threat state isn't inherently as good, because it's like you have the option, right? It breaks up that ability to communicate with your teammate. You can't focus the same monster. I missed you too, Ultra Death Lord. Thank you so much. Mr. Penguin King says, I thought Stoic was going to commentate his own match, to be fair. Would that be fair, though, Mr. Penguin King? Would that be fair? I feel like that would put him at a disadvantage. Because he'd be talking about their strategy, and he'd also be giving up on talking to Xiaomi, and that is the main ingredient for 2v2. Communication. We can sit up here the whole time, talk about what units are better, what newcomers have entered the scene that are great in 2v2, but ultimately it boils down to communication, deciding what monsters to take down, being unified in decision making, listening to your partner when the time is right, and improvisation as well. Like, I've had a few games with Seppi where he's told me that maybe I should do something, I should act one way, and I decided to act another out of pure improv and hubris, chat. Knowing when to reel that in and when to lean into it is probably the biggest source of contention for 2v2. I love you too, Ultra Death Lord. Appreciate it. I love Evan more. Mr. Penguin King says, I'm new. You are not new, Mr. Penguin King. Can't get that. Can't get that. Team Simba versus Team Stoic. There's so much personality in these photos. This is so cool. And of course, we got Zex teamed up with Simba over there. Zex is no stranger to the tournament scene for Summoners War 2. We've seen him in a load of different tournaments. The Corgi, however, I think is new to the Summoners War competitive scene. I don't know if we've seen him enter in before. Oh, and for folks asking about a code, yes, don't worry. We got codes for you later down the line, so stay tuned. Enjoy the 2v2. We'll get that for you ASAP. We'll get that to you ASAP. Welcome back, Paul's Balls. Welcome back. Giving out the shout out to Bioprox, dude. It's great. RNG, great equalizer. I do not have LDNet 5 like. Oh, dude. Don't even worry about it. So, Pirate Wing saying, or maybe they have a strategy written down and then talking about a strategy is to throw off the enemy. Could be. Could have been. Could have been. We'll see if someone down the live is or down the road is brave enough to commentate their match live while they're doing it. That would be crazy. That would be so cool. But I really think it hinders your team and everything. Celtic, but I am. You're killing me. You're killing me, guys. This is great. Here we go. Team Simba versus Team Stoic. Best of one. If anybody's joining late, this is the 2025 Guardians Club tournament. You can use command SWGC in chat if you're so inclined to visit the website or try to apply to the Guardians Club yourself. Jug, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Stoic going for something a little bit out there with Ileana as the first pick, that light Neostone agent. That's a cool monster. In some circles, being just me, I would call that the achievable Pontos. You know, she's got turn cycling on skill 2, which is real cool, and she also has invincibility and immunity on skill 3. We were just talking about the Fire Megami Tetsuo being cool, new to the scene, and great in 2v2, especially because he provides a 28% arena speed lead. Simba's drafting something very similar to what he takes on the ladder. We got the Gianna represented. He's taking the double speed leads, and Zex is looking to capitalize on that. So, you know, showing that Sonya early, right? It shows he wants to do big, ignore defense damage. He wants to snipe out a monster. But that's great news for Stoic. If Stoic has one thing, it's thick boys and girls, apparently. He's bringing defense scaling monsters, defense-based monsters that are hard for Sonya to get through. So Zex is probably going to bring something like the Water Siri was going to be the end of that sentence. That's crazy. There you go. That's what it is, but that might end up being the ban unless they want to ban out the Elsharion or the attack buff from this side. But I think the Sonya is definitely staying in. You might just want to take out that second ignore defense option. Let's see how Xiaomi wants to reply. Fun fact about Stoic that the Wind Exorcist, I always forget which one is which. That is his chosen Nat 5 from the event that's happening live in game right now for the 11th anniversary. Vincent is the name. It's funny, I knew Jurgen, but I forgot Vincent. You'd think Vincent would be the one that would stand out in my head. Oh, and the Zeratul. Oh my God, Xiaomi's bringing the heat, man. This is what we were talking about before stream. Stoic watching the VOD back in the Stoic's watching the VOD back in the future. This is me talking to him in the moment. Dude, you called it. He also predicted that folks would probably target Xiaomi first, you know, because he's fast, you know, high threat, etc. Stoic's built to kind of stick around. You know, built to receive, as he calls it. Kanagi, you know that's not true. I acknowledge our relationship, Kanagi. Look at us. Sorry, bro. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's going on. I got a lot of screens to look at right now. That's my bad. And Jug says, with most healers and buffers, you can target both teams. Very true, and that's exactly why supports are so powerful in 2v2, and it's why you see so many of them. That's a pretty bold ban on the Sekhmet, considering how she's performed today. So let's see if this is a good situation. We're left with the 2 speed leads from Xiaomi down there, and we take an accuracy lead up top. Awesome. Okay, leader skills have been chosen. We're going in. We're going into the game. Surprised to see that the Sonya didn't make it through, especially considering that you can't crit on the Water Siri unless you are faster than her. So let's see how this goes. She's able to take someone down right at the start. Does she have enough damage to take it out? And that's a Vincent done and dusted. He has gone a bomb that also ignores defense, going out on the light macaron guard. This is Elsharion's time to shine. He's probably got his eyes on oh, he wants to set up a defense break, get that monster closer to death by bomb. Instead, I know that, you know, I think that's gonna kill. You know, I'm trying to be optimistic over here for that thing, but I think that is probably it, dude. I don't know if she's gonna have enough. Just like that, Audrey goes down. Ileana's time to shine. Stoic down to just 1 monster in play, but it's a pretty impactful one, and a support that also has immunity and invincibility, like we said. So now we got an awkward turn from the Adriana. Can Siri take someone else out right now? It's enough. Was that 78,000 damage? Was that 78,000 damage coming out from her attack buff, speed buff? What a combination. Now it's just Tetsuo, Zeratul, and a dream. I don't know if Ileana's got what it takes to keep this going. Oh, no. Wow. Guys, this is looking tough. I think this might be a job that Shiho can do on his own, to be honest. If previous matches are to be learned from, if history repeats itself, I think Shiho's all it takes to take down 3 units. We've already seen him take down 4 today. Okay, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Stoic's all like, all right, go for it. Do whatever it takes. Try for it. I don't think he's going to live through this. Zeratul bites the dust, and a free attack buff gets placed on. Whoa, called it too early. I wasn't expecting to see the ghost of Zeratul was still standing there. I don't know what part of him was left behind after that, but it must have just been a hair. And now it's just the Italiano. But this is what we've been saying. This is why supports are so good, dude. They just stick around. That's it. Oh yeah, that's game. But great show. Love the strat from Simba and Zex, by the way. Super high damage, big numbers. Who doesn't love big numbers? That's 3 points on the board for Team Simba, baby. That's amazing. Yeah, I can't. The water Siri with Adriana is insane, says Vorvius. It is. It is. Bazorki, to be fair, dude, there's a lot of great ones. Stoic is back. He's still chatting with Xiaomi. Dude, we can get some post-game commentary. We can do an interview. Oh my God. Chat, don't freak out. We can interview. Here we go. Stoic, welcome back.
We're back.
Welcome back, dude. Oh, welcome to the post-game interview. So,
dude,
how was it?
So we were like going back and forth. So it's like Siri, it's Sonia. Like, which one do we ban out? I feel like it didn't matter which one we banned out. I feel like it would have been the exact same thing. But now after like going through it, maybe Siri is more of a ban than Sonia. But I don't think that changes the outcome that we ran into. So I ended up going with all the units that I brought were violent and in like the 280 range. So I was like, I'll just be really fast violent and then support him. But that just wasn't really going to help the case when they had so much damage coming from Siri. So there's just not much we could do about that.
Yeah, she's a real tough monster. Yeah, she's a real tough monster. And also the fact that like you can't crit her if you're slower than her. So it's like she's got a little bit more defense than the average one. She auto crits if she's faster. So she's built to hit hard. But you were stuck between an Adriana and a hard place, right? There's so many different things that wanted to be banned there. So it was a hard spot.
Zex is also probably one of the strongest competitors that we have here. For a Guardians Club member, he's also an SWC contestant.
Yes. Yeah, he is no stranger to tournament settings, right? For Summoners War. Like, we've seen Zex around. So it was a great game. It's very fun to see snipes, I will admit to. Oh, and it's also fun to see coupon codes, chat. Look at this.
We get coupon codes?
Of two. We got coupon codes for this, Stoic. We got GC 2 versus 2. Go. And that'll get you 100k mana stones and 100 energy. And there will be another coupon code coming up later in the show. So stick around. Make sure that you want to, because you want to watch the last 3 games. Like we said, there's 7. We've seen 4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we're going through them pretty quick. For 2v2, these matches have kind of been rolling. I mean, thanks to Xiaomi and I, we made that one really quick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks to Xiaomi. That's great. Guys, we're going to take a brief break here, and then we'll be right back with the latter half of the tournament. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2025 Guardians Club Tournament. I'm still Evan, and this is presumably still Stoic. What's up, Stoic?
What's up, man? I'm actually defeated, is what it is.
Hey, but that's okay, because luckily, this is not the only week for the Guardians Club Tournament. We have many more weeks ahead of us with the finals where we take the top four and put them in a bracket and make them fight. We just finished up Game 4, which was Team Simba versus Team Stoic, and we're going into Game 5 where we see the return of Team Whycuz versus Team JMak. So Stoic, looking at that matchup, how do you think this one's going to go differently than it did before when Team Whycuz was paired up against their previous opponent?
Well, so obviously Whycuz won his match and JMak did lose his match here, and I do think they're kind of I think they need to learn for Team JMak what they did in that first match to not do that going into the second match here, because I think Team Whycuz, they can still do the exact same thing that they did and they're going to be fine. But there is some contested units here. I do believe a Yanhong was being drafted on Team JMak, where obviously Whycuz, they have the Yanhong that they want to utilize as well, where they did a similar strategy, just Team Whycuz executed that strategy just a little bit, where they brought a lot of support units, a lot of partner play in there, but executed it well with bringing in great damage dealing and taking advantage of situations.
Very good memory. Yeah, Spectre was the one that brought both Wolyung and the Yanhong. He brought the sisters to play. So they're going to want to make sure that they get that Yanhong down fast, ASAP, you know, but that's all incumbent on them winning the coin flip and getting that first pick slot. So here we go, Team Whycuz versus Team JMak. Let's see how this plays out for them. Can Team JMak get the win here?
Well, that's what they really got to push for. You can't take 2 losses in day 1. No way. So they really got to maybe dig into the boxes, take some stuff away from them, get that first pick, take that Yanhong away from Whycuz, and kind of put them in a place that is difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it sets them back too far. You know, there's multiple weeks, but you know, you don't want to start off without having 3 points on the board. So Pat did get the Yanhong.
Yep, they won that coin toss. They got first pick there. They took the Yanhong, not allowing their opponent to take it away from them. Jeff, JMak leaning on that 33. I think that's a great idea to take the 33s. I think Oliver is a great pick here. Alucard, of course, he's got his light twin angels. He had taken that before. Gianna this time. Did we have a Gianna last time? I think maybe we did have a Gianna last time from that team.
We may have, and I think I had forgotten about that possibility. It may have been, yeah, it may have been knocked out, and I had forgotten about it. And Pat's going to lock down the other twin angels that's been seeing play today. Raj, the Ramayana Junaya, flashing Jara, flashing the Jara.
You know he's not taking it. He's just flashing it because of the Eludia pick that JMak brought.
Yeah, it's a good, you know, he's just messing around, right? But like, yeah, that'd be fun if more passives were in play. That's for sure.
So that's interesting that Pat would just take a double 24. So we're not expecting any more speed leads to come out of these guys here. So I don't think maybe Alucard does go with the 33 still to kind of tempt them to ban out, you know, a 33 instead of banning something else from in Alucard's draft. But we'll see. So the Zaratu I think is a great pick there. It did excellent work for Alucard. Sonya is coming into the picture here. Obviously something that I didn't want to have to deal with, but maybe deal with it next time.
Oh man, and there was a BOGO on wind units apparently for JMak. He's going all wind all day. You know, that's it's awesome. It's uncontested here. I mean, there's no fire units in play. So, you know, that's a great call. What's Spectre going to do? So now we're seeing Spectre potentially reach into like his monster box, because this was a situation that was very different before, because he pulled out the wool
rushed. I don't know if he wanted those picks there, but the Light Monkey King I think is fine. I like the Light Monkey King, but I do not know about not Cashmere.
Van Cliff.
There it is.
That's it. Van Cliff. I was stuck on Talisman for so long. I wanted to say and then
I was saying the wind one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not the best pairing I could think of, but I mean it can extend debuffs. It could stun you, lock you down for a while.
Yes, it's not terrible. Okay, I'm not gonna go ahead and say it's a bad pick here. I think it's a fine pick, and I think it brings a lot of control. JMak really wants to go for that turn one. Last time we saw a segment, maybe Okeanos in this last spot here, and it is going to be a segment. We have those turn one units, Ethna, segment. They want to go first. Are they faster than the Yonhong Escher on the side of Whycuz though? Because it looks like we're only getting a 24 speed lead in here, but also another fast unit's the Sonya.
There's a lot of turn one. Vying for turn one happening on Team Whycuz. So many units to watch out for. You know, like you highlighted, asking them to be faster than the Yonhong or the Ashir, that's a tough call. Maybe Etna can do it. Oh, Sekhmet's getting left in too. So honestly, this is anybody's turn one.
So we have a 24 speed lead on the side of JMak, losing the 33. They ban out the Zabala. Zabala was the faster unit for Spectre's draft. We do have the two fastest units here left in the game, Ethna and Sekhmet. Now, Escher's still left in the field, but they also have a 24 speed lead. So it's really going to come down to the fast Swift runes. Is Whycuz faster than JMak and Spectre?
I'm a big fan of this comp that Pat and Alucard have kind of come up with here. You know, so that Pat can set up defense break. They have multiple strip options, set up defense break. Zeratu gets a kill, maybe procs into another one. Like, there's a lot of like high damage possibilities here. It's really cool. So Etna takes turn one away from Team Whycuz.
Yep, definitely does. We knew this was going to be a very fast unit here. It is going to be faster than that Escher. Escher is going to be going next after the segment. So JMak, the faster player in this instance. We're going to see skill 3. You know, what do we think about this skill 3?
Who do you reset? Yeah, you know what? And actually lands it on the Nephies. Yeah, that was a tough call too, because I was looking at the field Stoic and I was like, who do you reset? I want to reset everybody.
Yep, so we got the Curse of Beautiful. It's on cooldown now. But we've got Gianna. Gianna could be stunning up everybody. Puts that bomb on the Light Monkey King, which is the right place. Gets a full team strip stun there on JMak.
Now here's Berghild. Try to strip. Finally, it gets the immunity off, but too little too late. Zeratu's gonna get the turn. He can put some damage in on the Kitien and make sure the bomb kills, but he's
oh man!
Oh my God, Alucard's confident that he could try to set up a kill on Van Cliff, and he was low-key right.
Yeah, he really was. Because that's two. I was gonna say because that's 2 dots. It's probably gonna be confirming kill, but Water Twin Angel's got something to say about that. Dropping the Van Cliff.
Oh no! This is not looking great for Spectre's team, and I don't know if JMak has the longevity to take down all the threat on the other side.
Yeah, I don't think so. So missing out on the Van Cliff being down unit, that bomb more than likely able to deal with this light Monkey King as well. I don't know if JMak can kind of lock it in. It's going to be very, very tough when we have so much synergy on the side of Whycuz's team.
It's true. So this could be a moment where you set up the defense break on the Berghild and go in on it with the Zeratul, considering they're next. I think this might actually be a little bit too much on the Kitty end, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much. It is going to be dropping. Well, when you get the additional turn there, it's not going to matter too much. That's 2 units dropped already. There's just no turning back here. We don't have the damage to really do anything. We've got the defense break out there on Alucard's Zeratul, so removing Zeratul from the field would be very beneficial to him. I mean, if he can do it with the skill 1, if he can't, it's just looking grim.
Dang, Skippy. Yeah, this is, I said it was too much, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you take the kills that are given to you. If you see an opportunity for a takedown, you just got to go for it.
Yep, Curse of Beautiful. That was a lot of additional damage coming from JMak, though, but again, Zeratu's still not dropping. Bomb does land on top of the Berghild. Kind of just going through the motions. This feels a little bit like Xiaomi and I, except Xiaomi and I's match way quicker than this.
You were speed running the tournament, That's what you were told this was like a speed running dungeons type thing, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we were going for a record there, fastest 2v2 match, and boy did we nail it.
And there will be more opportunities to get those points. Next week you guys can do an even better show. You can redraft.
You're right. We could be even quicker next week, Evan.
It's true. Hey, it's true. Or there you go. So Berghild taking the damage. Not quite enough to get the kill, but I think the writing's on the wall. Team Whycuz with 3 more points.
Big win. Well done, Whycuz. I'm telling you, that 2v2 strategy, he spent a lot of time doing 2v2 in his time with Thompson, and he gets a great pairing like Alucard. Alucard is doing a phenomenal job. The Zeratul he has putting in massive work there. So I think these two have an excellent team. Thinking of just future matches down the road to see how they will handle the Simba Zex combination when their time comes to have to go up against them. That'll be quite interesting.
That's a good thing. That's something that folks are going to have to draft around, and we're going to see them return in Game 6 here. So Team Simba and Zex is going up against Team Bloom with MD5 in Game 6 here. So we have a little bit of post-game commentary in there. JMak says, "This one's my fault. Sec was wrong. I timed out my Sekmet. Sorry, Spec."
Oh, no.
Oh, and wow, Team Whycuz pulling ahead 6 points ahead of everybody else.
Man, 6 points. That would be nice. If only I could get 3.
It's like you were saying, though, I think tournament experience, 2v2 experience plays a big role in this. Pat's probably... I'd love to hear how much other people have played, but I know that Pat's probably in the running for the most time spent in 2v2.
Probably. I think out of everybody here, I think Whycuz might have the most time doing 2v2, especially upon launch. When 2v2 launched, it was him all the way with Thompson. There was just so much 2v2 done by them.
It was cool to see them play too. So next up, Team Simba and Zex versus Bloom and MD5. So what do you think that Team Bloom should be afraid of going into this one? Because you guys experienced that volatility, that damage, the single target snipe. What's going through your head in this matchup?
Be careful with drafting selfish units. I think it did work out for them, or almost worked out for them in their first match. That's got to be something on your mind. But luckily, they got to see the Zex game and understand the high damage that will and can come in these matchups. So we'll see. Knowing that, because there's just so much you can learn watching someone already make a draft, knowing what to look out for. So I kind of want to see what Zex has on store, the direction he may take the draft, or does he bring it once again and we deal with that all over again? So we'll see.
You beat me to it. That was going to be my question too. Does Zex double down on the snipe comp, or does he maybe have something else in play so that way he can stay volatile and make it so folks don't know what's coming? We got Team Simba versus Team Bloom. Here we go, guys. Pick band phase best of 1 in this opening week here for the 2025 Guardians Club 2v2 tournament.
I think it'll come down to if MD5 and Bloom can take a water pudding princess away from Zex, we may see a transition in the draft. If first picks go out and nobody takes a water or Adriana, I do think he goes down that same route.
And looking back, that was another question I wanted to ask you. What do you think the ban is in retrospect? My personal vote, it's probably Adriana, just because of how much of a facilitator she is. But like, you know, what are your thoughts on that?
I do think it's Adriana. So either you take that away, because there's no ban. There's no ban phase in 2v2. There was a ban phase where we're pre-banning Adriana.
Yes, exactly. If there was a pre-ban in this, that would be a cool, honestly, that would be a cool addition. If tournaments like this were to take off, adding a pre-ban specifically for tournament settings would be real neat.
Yep. So there's no reason for Zex to not draft that team. It's still going to work. And there's the water pudding princess. Adriana's coming in. Sonya's comes in here. I think Sonya's the more contested of the units. I don't think everybody has a water Siri on mind. And I think water Siri is a great pick here.
Yeah, the signals are coming out. It's happening. Yeah, water Siri is so cool, dude. I mean, she facilitates her own crits. She has a hard time getting crit herself. So it's a great unit. Let's see if he chooses to follow up with that. I think he will. Whoa, Bloom is kind of mirroring the idea of saying, I might take out a unit when you least expect it.
I think what Bloom is doing is she's going to draft something that she that can't be one shot. And I think that's fine, but that means they're all in on removing Zex from the field, and we're not really thinking about what Simba has to offer. And Gianna's an amazing unit to have to deal with a wow, what is that fire unit's name? It escapes me right now.
Frederica? Frederica?
Yeah, Frederica. Fire Cassandra, yeah.
I want one of those. I really do. It seems... No way! Oh, yes! Oh, this is actually... So this is really cool. What I was going to say is you spend all your time counterpicking against Zex, and then you have a hard time like actually having that sustained damage to kind of play out the game. Zex quick to reply with the Jara for this, but I thought Julianne was a really good choice.
I think so as well. So now I don't think it changes from Zex's draft. So I know he didn't take the water Siri, but the idea remains. We're bringing these units, whether they're single target removal, taking advantage of the speed buff, attack buff from Water Pure Vanilla. You have to ban out the Water Pure Vanilla and, you know, just kind of outlast the rest of Zex's draft, because I do think the Water Pure Vanilla is too much of a facilitator here.
Yeah, I know. I still think you do. I think you do, and you just kind of got to hope that you survive. Because I just believe in the power of Adriana. I know chat does. I know we all do. I know you do too. But Jara is just so threatening, especially because it can shut down the Federica as well as the Julianne.
Yes.
But it might be fragile too, right? So in theory, you take out the Adriana, you can actually one-shot the Jara potentially with Etna.
I think you also have to worry about giving too much attention to one person in a draft too. And that might be what's going on right now. I think we may have gave too much attention towards what Zex was going to be bringing to the table here, where I feel like Simba's draft is threatening in itself and doesn't really have an answer. Because everything that Bloom and MD5 have drafted right now, I feel like Simba's draft is going to work really, really well here.
So yes, I think you highlighted a really good point. And I also think that Zex and Simba kind of saw through that danger, banning that Etna. You know, Etna being a real threat for everything that Zex is bringing, probably the biggest one. Oh man, let's see if Team Bloom can weather the storm here and get a win out from Team Simba.
Yep, we'll see. Let's see if Zex's pivot here in his draft compared to the last match will help him out, because I do think he's doing all right. Let's see if I was wrong about the Sonya ban. I do think I was wrong about the Sonya ban.
Oh, maybe not. 47k raw. That's crazy. What are the runes on that thing?
As well.
I mean, Zex is an SWC level player. That's an SWC level Sonya.
Exactly that. Gonna really pummel some damage here on top of Julianne. Look at this damage, dude. Oh. Look what's happening right now. It just doesn't matter. We're bringing so much heat to the table. We're just drafting some crazy damage dealers. That's all we're doing.
And got the increased cooldown time on Sekhmet Stoic. Yep. Oh my god. Bro, that's the kick while you're down. Seriously.
Oh, that's right. Simba's here, and we had a ton of damage there going. It was doing some big damage there on Miles.
Oh my God, that's funny, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, truly though, it's like Simba's in the back line, ready to close out the game if things didn't go as planned. So they seem to have very much gone to plan for Zex and Simba here.
Yep, yeah, it really has. Like I said, Simba's draft wasn't even addressed. There was just so much worry about what Zex was going to be doing here that Simba just kind of gets to do whatever he wants after that. So there it is, man. There's just not much you can do when you're bringing that kind of heat, and they brought just so much heat. Like I'm even like thinking, like, could I have drafted the Wind Druid with the Tyrannus to try to counteract all the high damage that he's bringing,
and then leave the Sonya so you have that high defense.
Yeah, leave the Sonya next time. Like I don't know. I think that's the option because obviously they're banning out the turn 1 units that are going to interrupt whatever they're trying to do. Like they banned out my Sekhmet. They're banning out. I can't even remember what they banned out from these guys here, but I think they banned out the 33 lead as well.
Yeah, and then the Etna. So speaking of which, right? It's like the units were incredible, but a lot of that win came from the read in the pick ban phase, right? Because we talked about it. We said the Etna has the potential to stop the Jara, right? You can leave the Jara. Etna takes turn 1, you lock it down, or you skill 2 and then skill 3. But either way, she handles that whole bird herself. She eats that whole thing for dinner. So it's like that was a really good read on banning the Etna.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. Man, there's going to be a lot of thought get put into anybody that has to go up against Zex's team here.
They are going to be one to plan around. And all of these teams have time to think. Because again, guys, the next week for this is going to be next week. So make sure you come back for all the Guardians Club tournaments henceforth. And we'll make sure that you stay up to date to when those are on our social media platforms too. We still have one more game, if you can believe it.
One more. It's so fast. One of my, I don't want to say complaints, but when it comes to 2v2, the matches are so long, the draft is long, the matches are long. But like this has been very quick when it comes to 2v2. It was very surprising. I thought this was going to be a very, very long event.
Yeah, eerily fast. Because that's the thing. You tell me 7 games of 2v2, and I'm thinking that's going to go on forever.
Yeah, well, we say best of 3 or best of 5 would be here,
and then we'd be here all night. But yeah, no, this has been very fun and weirdly fast. My guess, I think next week we're probably going to see a slowdown as folks kind of figure out, they download each other's comps and they kind of figure out how to beat them, right? There's a lot of thought that needs to go in between now and next.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of those game plans. Like everybody brought a game plan to today, and then we're just trying to execute it. And now, like these last couple matches where we're seeing where they got to witness someone play a match and then react off of that. That's where I think things start to really, really slow down because now we have Apps who has already played, Amodace's team that has already played. They've seen each other play, and they're going to be taking their time in the draft, knowing like, okay, are they doing this? Will they be bringing this? Should we take this away? Like those questions are now up in the air, making the draft last just a little bit longer.
Yeah, so true. Team Apps versus Team Amodace. Wrapping up the bracket today, wrapping up the matchups for the round robin. This is going to be a lot. This is going to be cool. So who's your vote going into this, Stoic? Who do you think is going to take it?
I called Amodace some of the strongest team that we had today. That may have swapped to the Simba Zex team as the strongest team of the day. But I got to give it to Amodace. I think they've got a super, super strong team. As much credit as I give Apps as just a great, great player. I think Amodace may have this one in the bag.
Let's see what they got planned. They may have teched for these folks. Honestly, I think it's a lot harder for folks to have an individual plan for each player in 2v2, right? I think for this first week especially, what most, and correct me if I'm wrong, actually, I should be hearing this from you. You're in the tournament, but I would expect most folks would be talking about their core comp. What are we drafting? What LDs do we have that synergize? You're not thinking about each team. Is that a correct assumption?
Well, that's what I was assuming, and that's what I did. It didn't work out for us, though.
But now there's plenty of time to think of like sideboards, for lack of a better word, right? You know, it's like, what do you tech in against this team?
Yeah. It's so much easier now that we've seen units and we've seen some gameplay that we can now approach this tournament and be like, okay, I have an idea of at least what they've done in the past and what to kind of expect going into this. So like our strategy, Zumi and I, we're going to be changing like what we're going to be doing dependent on the player that we're going up against as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, something else, we got another question in chat too. So it was, if you draft Leo, your teammate isn't affected by it, right? So fun fact, Leo is actually fully banned. He is blacklisted from 2v2 entirely. You cannot pick Leo. And you know, it's partially for the reason that you described there, Chris, actually, because, you know, if you draft a Leo, just half of the folks in the game are ruined, just completely ruined, including yourself, you know, and the whole benefit of picking the Leo is practically gone, right, Stoic?
Yep, exactly. Like there's actually a world, well, maybe there isn't a world, because then you would just ban out the Leo. So it's like if Leo was in 2v2, you would just ruin everything on 0 speed. But then if they just ban Leo, now you're just never getting a turn, period.
It's true. And I mean, think about like the other two members in play, you know, those guys are still ruined at like plus 150, plus 200, you know, they're going fast, right? You know, and you're left behind with your Leo. And for that reason, it means speed scaling units can kind of run rampant in 2v2. I mean, before the stream, Stoic, we were talking about Miles, because he's totally uncontested in 2v2.
Yep, that's right. You're free to bring units like that, because you know for a fact, you know, in regular RTA, it's like Miles drops out there. The likeliness of a Leo hitting that field is pretty high. You know, you may see that Leo just because of that. But not in 2v2. So Miles gets away with it. A lot of these speed-based damage dealers get away with it with the Sonya, Watasiri. All of these things start coming out there. These super high turn 1 units come into the picture here. And I think that's why we always talk about locking in double speed leads, because you don't want to go one player takes one speed lead, the other player takes the other speed lead, because then you just ban out the speed leads, and ultimately speed does win 2v2, and that's why you see so much Sekhmet, so much Ethna, so much Escher, because these are all like units that will help facilitate victories, you know, whether they're stripping, stunning, resetting, pushing up attack bar, all of these things.
Yeah, and instead of the Leo, you bring things with slow debuff, you bring maybe some Oblivion, you bring Tessa, etc. Kanagi says, Evan, you need to answer my question. When are we going to see Team Evan and Michael? Not today. I'm not in the tournament. You don't want me in the tournament. I don't think you want to see that. That would be absolutely crazy. Like the schedule showed, guys, we're still waiting on game number 7, by the way, with Team Apps and Team Amodace. But in the meantime, I want to remind everybody that the Guardians Club tournament is not just a 1-week event. We have multiple weeks ahead of us, and the next one is going to be next week. Same time, same place. It's going to be 3 p.m. for the duration of the tournament. So, you know, come back here. Whenever you arrived here, same time, same place. May 16th is the next week that these folks are going to be throwing down. So, you know, top of your head, Stoic, what's a change that you and Xiaomi are going to make, like going into V2?
I see Jeannie saying, no Ileana, Stoic. I brought a 290 Violent Will Ileana. I feel like I'd probably still bring a 290 Violent Will Ileana. It's got great, like, partner play back and forth, whether I'm helping myself or helping my partner there. I think Ileana's another one of those units, because I know we wanted to talk about some great 2v2 units, and I think Ileana does fit that bill as a great 2v2 unit. But we'll see. I think now that we actually see some gameplay, it'll be more like, who's my first match? All right, so that's who we're playing up against. This is probably the direction we'll take our draft and do this, that, and the other things.
Yeah, I don't think Ileana was the problem, especially considering she was the last one in play. You know, I think it was, you know, it was a hard first game to go against, to be honest. That's it. Vorvia is saying, I want to see that Destiny gameplay. Honestly, actually, if I was to bring Destiny into 2v2, bring her with Shizuka, that's actually pretty good. So honestly, like, that's a great combo that I'm running in RTA right now, and like in 2v2, it might be even better. And chat, you know, if you guys want your life to be even better, you should consider signing up for the Guardians Club as well. I mean, this whole tournament is brought to you by the Guardians Club. That's how half of these participants made it in right now, and we try to do at least one of these a year. So if there's any interest in you at all, I'd recommend that you use command SWGC on Twitch and follow that survey. If you meet the prerequisites, then you're in for some of the most exclusive merch that Summoners War has to offer, and more benefits like fun events like this, right, Stoic?
Yes, definitely. We try to do a lot of these things in the Guardians Club, so definitely stay tuned. If you're part of the Guardians Club, you get to take advantage of so many fun things that they get, and of course, the merch is nice as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So as we're setting up this game right now, looking forward to Team Amodace, Team Apps. What are you expecting Team Amodace to bring? Because so we saw him picking things like, he brought the Charlotte before. He was first picking the Oliver. He was picking things that are very reminiscent of like the current RTA meta. Do you think he's going to shift that? Do you think he's going to stick to it? What are your thoughts on that?
I think for today, I think we're going to see a lot of contested Oliver and potentially Vanessa. Those 233s, no matter what, those are always going to be contested when it comes to 2v2. And then it's going to be those very, very fast units like we had mentioned before. It's Ethna, it's Sekhmet, it's Escher, those three. And then if there's anything like awkward out there, like that might be contested, but those just happen to be your 5 most contested units when it comes to 2v2. It's just they do too much to not include them in any of your drafts.
Yeah, and Oliver is one of those monsters that like I was talking about earlier. Is like he's even better 2v2. He's got more targets. He has 2 more targets than normal. So it's like he's always got somebody he can reset.
Yeah. I tried to be cheeky with bringing, or I guess working with Xiaomi, and then we had the Lionel, which is the water steel commander.
Yeah, steel commander.
113 base speed. We have 113 base speed. Yes, so it's a very fast unit. Stripper as well with 3rd skill. 2nd skill, we had talked about this, and it was a threat state that you're able to apply to really kind of misdirect your opponent's attention.
Yeah. All right, guys. Looks like this is it. Team Apps versus Team Amodace. We are queued up and ready to go. The last game of 2v2 for the first week at the Guardians Club tournament in 2025. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if our predictions are true.
Yep, looks like Ammo's got a first pick here. No way.
No way.
I love the Fermion, dude. Fermion's one of my favorite 2v2 units when I'm memeing.
I feel like that was for you. I don't know.
I feel like that was for me. I love the Fermion.
That's awesome.
I'm still begging for like, I want 1 year where just Fermion's completely broken. Give him a Gurkha treatment where he just comes in there and just wrecks. And then you can nerf the crap out of him later.
You just brutalize him after that. Just give him a back-breaking balance patch, put him back. But honestly, he's earned it, man. He's been in the back. He's been neutrally good for a while, right? We always talk about how defense stays the same, but I think he's earned his spot in the limelight.
Most definitely. So it looks like Mad Expert's going to be taking the 2 speed leads. As we said, one of the best speed leads to lock in there is Oliver, so we have that being drafted by Mad Expert. Amodace locking one of the faster LD Nat 5s in this game, and that's going to be the Wunsa. Now, one of the units that I did not include there among the Sekhmet, Ethna, and Escher is Zabala, kind of like that Steel Commander Lionel. It's a very, very fast unit, another water unit to reset things, but you need to get some strip in front of that Zabala, unless you're using the 2nd skill to influence some sort of damage or create some sort of opportunity. He's going to be taking that. Light Twin Angels, App's been drafting a lot.
Yeah, it's true. And Amodace, with the Water Gojo, it's very reminiscent of a lot of the drafts that we've been seeing in like the Summit. He was in every single set except for one. It was a crazy amount of representation in the most recent Summit. I don't have that monster. I know you have the Wind one. I think we both have the Wind one, Stoic.
I believe we do, yes.
Yeah, look at that. Okay, so Apps going for that aggressive comp. You shouted out Zabala, and I think that was a really good shout out because he is so flexible in 2v2.
Yep, exactly. Partner play. We're going back and forth. We're doing something else. We're helping each other out. It's a great, great unit. We've got first skill. You're not just dealing damage, but you're also healing your own team. I think Zabal is amazing because when it comes to 2v2, we want to do something so it's like, I'm going to strip, but what else are you going to do? Those situations make those units just so good for 2v2.
I love that as like a sentiment for what you should be picking. Do something right? Don't just end there. Not a lot of selfish units in play, except for, is that a Velasca? You're kidding me.
is a Velasca.
Oh
we
my.
have witnessed this. It's banned, Evan. I'm sorry.
Don't ban it, Ammo. Don't ban it, bro. Come on,
dude.
like,
I'm
dude.
sorry. I'd hate to break it to you, Evan, but the Velasca.
Oh my God, that'd be.
It was
so
gonna be
hype,
so cool. It was gonna be awesome. It's
oh,
banned.
dude, I hate that it's gonna get banned. Oh my
Bro,
God,
we made it through. Let's go. What's up, Velasca? Please work, apps. Please.
Apps pop off, King. Please. Bro, yo, this unit's cracked. I don't know if
It's so
just
funny.
in case people haven't seen it. This is like, you know that meme, Stoic, with the yearbook where it's like, Carlos and the cooler Carlos. That's what this is. That's what this is. I think it's actually the Daniel and the cooler Daniel. For this one, it's Carlos, cooler Carlos. Whenever a unit dies, she gets a turn. She immediately gets her stacks filled up. What am I talking about? We're gonna see it. This is the last game of week 1 at the Guardians Club tournament. Let's see how this goes, man.
Yep, well, the Sekhmet's going to be setting the tone right here. We locking down the best unit on the field. We go right towards we're going with the Ethna. So the Ethna is going to be reset here. And then Wunce, of course, is going to be going next. I think we're going all in on left side. I do think they're going to try to go double into apps. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You hate that. Oh, and so Gojo's here to clean up what
Gojo was there. He's very fortunate to have that Gojo clean up there because I don't think Animal wanted to see that at all. But beautiful stuns are going out there. I think we might just keep going into this and just try to get rid of units. Like, make sure you confirm that kill on the max a million. After the max a million, move on to something else. But we're not confirming kills. I don't know if that's a violent maximum.
Yeah, it's almost down. The Velasquez controlled. All eyes are on that. I want to see it work so bad. Notably, it's tanky as heck. The whole thing, all of its kit scales on HP, so it's just a wellspring of HP. So I don't even know if this bomb's gonna be enough to kill.
Well, Amodace should be confirming that kill. He wants to get rid of this Maximilian right now. No, we're still not confirming kill. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna pay. They've got way too many units that are moving before this Maximilian takes a turn, so he's got plenty of time to get rid of that unit. I think we're looking to potentially stun something out. I don't think we care too much about removing it just yet.
They're
Second
reading
kill
bar.
is available.
They're
yeah, exactly.
Reading bar hard. That's what that time was. They're like, how long can we wait to kill this thing? And Shiho got it. It resisted the stun off the bomb, so it's not going to get restunned, but I think there's too much time. I don't think we're going to get to see Velasca pop off. We did get a little background info. Sarah DX in chat says he pulled today.
Wow, Velasquez today. That is insane. Huge grats to apps, man. I also want to highlight something you said, that we're reading bar here. So there's not just one opponent that you're looking at the bar. You're looking at 9 different units to know what the order is looking like, to see what's happening. So it takes a lot of time to be able to pay attention to that kind of stuff there, because you want to know the order of what's going to be, like how the units are going to progress through.
Yeah, folks, seriously, if you thought that it was a lot to absorb before, it's even more in 2v2, because it's 9, right? Because you think it's 6, but Stoic's right, it's 9, because you got to see what your ally is at, because they read the bar to the point where they're like, okay, Shiho can take it with skill 2. That was so perfectly done, and it resulted in consistent crowd control. Oh my God, and that won them the game. Team Amodace. Oh my God, Stoic, they did it.
They did it. The Amodace won the game, but they also won our hearts, not banning out the Velasca. We didn't get to see Velasca content, but she was on the field, and it's very good. Congrats to Apps for pulling a beast unit to not just use, but to utilize with a Maximilian and the kind of stuff that he does like to bring to RTA. That's got to be so much fun to draft.
For real. Congrats to Team Ammo for taking the win, but congrats to Apps for getting the Velasca. Who really won is the question.
Who really won? Let's be real. Someone gets an awesome LD Nat 5 today. These points don't even matter. Congrats, Apps.
Exactly. And so, folks, this is the leaderboard as it is after week 1 of the Guardians Club tournament. Be sure to tune in next week to see how this continues. We got Team Simba and Team Whycuz in the lead, 6 to the nearest 3, with 3 teams tailing behind at 0. But there's still plenty of time to get that number up. And all they got to do is be in the top 4, because the top 4 are going to be brought into the finals, and that's where things really heat up. And that's where we stop being in best of 1 territory. Before we go, we want to give you guys one more thing. It's 2 mystical scrolls from us, 25 GC Club. TYME. Time, perhaps? Time? Or thank you, me. Maybe.
Could be that. You know, Evan, it's a good thing. It's a lot like bowling because not bowling, like golf, because the lowest score wins. Not like bowling.
Dude, the panic. Not bowling. Cancel that. Oh, dude. Chat, thank you all so much for showing up for week 1 of the Guardians Club tournament. And Stoic, thank you, man. Thanks for casting. This was so fun.
Not a problem, man. It's fun, dude. It always is fun.
It was great. It had so much fun. Folks in chat, I want to remind you, next week, same time, same place, 3 p.m. Pacific for the run of the Guardians Club tournament. So 1 hour before the usual time on COM2US USA and YouTube. Make sure to sign up for the Guardians Club. If you're at all interested, command SWGC. Enjoy the codes, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye, everyone.